Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Chop Talk, where we are talking the RCW show Sick Aint It, the Vince Austin Memorial Show. I am your co-host, Andre C. Right over here is the hardcore princess herself. It's Melba. How you doing, Melba?
She rejects that name.
I use it. I use it because we're talking about we're talking about a show honoring a man who's hardcore. So you're the hardcore princess tonight. I'm 2/3 of hardcore. You're the hardcore princess.
You're 2/3 hardcore. Okay. I can accept that. I can accept
Yeah.
that. I am doing great, Andre. I'm very tired. It's been a very long weekend of watching wrestling, and then on top of that, Veilguard just got released, and your girl doesn't have a PS5, so she's been trying to catch up on the story and watching walkthroughs and stuff. Look how long this game is. Too
Uh,
fracking long.
I heard to complete it, it's an over 100-hour game. Like if you're
Yeah.
doing everything.
Yeah, and your girl is a sucker for punishment. She loves watching those 100% complete walkthroughs. I am dying. I didn't realize I lost track of time yesterday, and suddenly it was 3:30, and I was like, I should probably go to bed, but I want to see them kill this dragon.
I'm I'm
Decisions,
I'm
decisions.
I'm currently working on 100% completion on Pokemon Violet right now. I'm done the games. Now
Drastically
I'm just
different
working.
style of game, but
It takes
how
a
are you
long
doing,
time.
Andre?
It takes a long time, okay? Because you have to get every Pokemon, evolve them all, and in this one, there's 3 different Pokedexes you have to fill. So trust me, it takes a while.
I've never played the Pokemon game all outside of the original Game Boy, so I'm sorry I can't relate to you on this.
So
But I
disappointed.
can say that having played multiple Dragon Age games, Mass Effect games, just
Mm.
RPGs in general, Knights of the
How
Old
about
Republic, just hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon endless hours of hilarious comments of me just going, shut the fuck up and let me go on with this thing already.
I'm
Yeah.
currently playing through I'm working on Mass Effect 1 right now. I'm playing through the Legendary Edition again.
Mm,
Oh, it those games are amazing. One is my least favorite of the 3 because there's some stuff in it, the resource hunting, things like that 2
oh,
is
okay.
that was so much better streamlined in later games. Going
Yeah,
back to
yeah, I
it again,
agree.
it's like and then a lot of the Citadel stuff early on in the Mass Effect 1 really is boring and sucks, but
Well,
I'm almost done the Citadel.
I mean, we can
Yeah.
say the same thing when we start any new series, right? The same thing with Dragon Age, having to go through the whole Ostagar thing and watching King Kalen die is kind of aggravating. And then also Knights of the Old Republic, so, second one, going through Paragus, the mine. Frack
No.
that mine. I
No.
hate that thing.
Everything about every piece of KOTOR in both games is absolute perfection. There is nothing wrong with either of those games. There is nothing bad in either of those games. If you say that, you're wrong. You're wrong.
I'm sorry, but as a lover of this game, the end of the second one was stupid.
It's so perfect. It's all perfect
No,
to me.
it was stupid.
It's all perfect.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about games now that we're 4 minutes into this video. We're here, well, sort of. We're here to talk about other games. We're here to talk about wrestling games.
Oh, WWE 2K24.
No!
You said
Gods,
wrestling
no.
games. You said
Maker,
wrestling.
no.
If you want WWE 24 talk, go over to Mark Talks Gaming and check out
Exactly.
his series with our friends Bobby Munson and
And Lauren Goodnight.
Lauren Goodnight. I almost said Lauren Collins for some reason. I almost mixed her
There's
and
not
Angie
three of
Collins.
us,
I
although,
almost
we
almost
could
mixed
try
it.
to. We could
Yeah.
try to convince her to change her name to Collins. We'll have a trifecta, Auntie, Melville, and Lauren.
Yeah, you could have the Collins Triforce, and then there's the Andre Triforce.
Okay?
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway.
We are here to talk some RCW, but before we do that, I want to thank each and every one of you guys. We appreciate you joining us here, whether it's on Backbreaker Video or Andre Melba Wrestling Talk. Thank you so much for joining us here. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Don't forget to share us out to all your friends, family, and crazy hardcore kids, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Huss, huss, huss.
Hus. We hussed a lot. We hussed a lot.
Lots of hussing on this show. So let's get into it. We're talking
Yes.
Ain't It, the Vince Austin Memorial Show. And we're going to kick it off with a chain match. Yeah. Hey, this is
Oh
it.
Lord.
I only had to
Yeah.
make I had to make one graphic completely, and then I had to edit other graphics. And one of the graphics I just decided just to leave it because it'd be way too hard to edit that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know which
Good
one I'm
choice. Good
talking
choice.
about.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I mean, it wouldn't be an RCW show though if most of the match cards weren't changing the day of the
It's so
show. I
true.
always
So
joke,
true.
I'm like, it's you can sit there and post and like market it all you want, but we both know that 30 minutes before the show, that entire card is fucking changing.
Especially on a show like this where everybody wants to show up to honor I thought personally wonderful person in professional wrestling.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, 99% of them, yeah.
yeah, it's just you want to be there to honor this guy, and
Mhm,
I get it. Like, they have to add more and more people to these matches to get to where you want to
mhm.
be. Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, it seems like there a lot of people were suddenly able to make the trip, maybe some people weren't, kinda
Hmm.
thing, so, we kinda got what we got, and we had a great freaking time with this show. Take us into it,
Oh,
man, 'cause
yeah.
this started off great.
So we started it out Bobby Sharp versus Slammer in a chain match. Man, these two beating the piss out of each other with these chains, whipping each other with these chains.
Mhm,
Slammer getting the chain wrapped around his arm at one point and beating the crap out of Bobby Sharp with it. Bobby Sharp doing the same
mhm,
thing to him at one point. These two just working each other. And there was a spot where Bobby threw Slammer over, or went like threw Slammer through the ropes, and I'm thinking, and he starts running for a dive. I'm like, don't toe pick on Hilo, you're gonna rip your arm off. But he ends up hitting a toe piece to his feet into the floor onto Slammer. But I was just like, okay,
mhm.
whew, he didn't hurt himself. But how
Yeah.
they there were spots where like they went for like a jump over and then the chain would follow after, and it was humorous to watch the chain doing the things it did as they were doing their regular moves.
Mhm, mhm, and there were 2 chains kinda in play at this one because remember Slammer did bring one out in honor of Vince. I definitely thought you were gonna start with, your crowd-pleasing chant there,
Oh,
where that you guys
I didn't write it down. I didn't write the chant down on this one, but it was "Eat Shit Slammer." The guy standing behind us, friend, started to "Eat Shit Slammer" chant, and
Yeah, got the
no,
whole
that was
room.
that was Nathan. Nathan said did
Nathan,
the
yeah.
"Eat Shit." Nathan started to "Eat Shit Slammer."
We
The
had
guy
a
behind it,
really
the guy.
great megaphone in our group that night is what we had. Everything that we said quietly got definitely, loudified.
Lisa's friend um had came up with the greasy chants. That's what he came up
Yes,
with the
that was
greasy.
later, that was later.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Eat Shit Slammer was oh my god. And you can see him
Yeah.
turn and look at us like, you bastards.
Well, you're a heel here. What do you expect us to cheer you? My guy, come on, figure your shit out. When you're a heel, you don't want us cheering you. You want it to be doing shit to make us boo you. We were booing you. Don't be surprised.
I just think he didn't expect Eat Shit Slammer. It's what I think the reaction was like, Eat Shit
I
Slammer.
mean,
Oh my god.
I think he should have. It's a Vince Austin tribute show.
That is true. The fact that things didn't get worse, like I figured we'd get
Worst.
more vulgar than we did, but it really didn't.
Um, there were a lot of fucks said by the crowd.
Yeah, but it's U6 fuck and stuff like that and that's a hardcore thing, right?
There was a fuck you slammer one going at one point too.
Oh, there was. But again, that's pretty tame if you think about it. Fuck you, Slammer. That's pretty tame.
Um,
I've
I
heard
mean, we
worse.
weren't thinking of the children. We didn't care that night. Weaponize them.
Hey, I've chanted "die" to a referee, so
Rude. Anyway, continue.
yeah, yeah. This match was really fun. End of this match comes. Bobby gets a Zack Driver, baby, and hits the frog splash off the top for the win.
Yeah. It's a fun match. I actually really liked how they did the chain, how it had like that little buckle
The
thing
cuff,
kind of
the
clamped
actual
on
big cuff,
there.
yeah, the big
Yeah,
cuff.
yeah, I liked that. I liked that because it meant that it wasn't going anywhere.
Mm.
Because that was a concern. We've seen it in the past where it's maybe not worked out so well, or the chain has maybe come off, or the strap has come off, or something, whatever. No, this worked out very, very well for them. I was concerned about this one, just because I'm not a big fan of Slammer. Um, um, the character or the work. So I was kind of like, but this was very good. I
Mhm.
was really, really happy with this. It was a great opener. It was actually a really great way to start off the crowd. Got the crowd hot because they, as we were saying, they were really chanting at Slammer. They're really showing their disdain and dislike for Slammer. So I really felt that there was a great way to start off the show.
Yeah, because like Bobby Sharp is like when he wants to be a bad guy, he can be hated so well. But when
Oh,
he's
yeah.
a good guy, these Edmonton crowds just love Bobby Sharp. And when
Hmm,
he wants
hmm,
to be when he's the good guy, people are so behind this man. And
hmm.
Slammer it's so easy for Slammer to be a heel because he's just a
Oh, yeah.
despicable. That character is just despicable. So like it
Yeah,
all works out so well, and
it
yeah,
does. Yeah.
set the crowd off in such a great way.
Yeah, I agree. I think that we're going to see a difference in the next time that we see Bobby Sharp, because I think the next time, if he's on the CWE show, which I suspect he usually is when CWE comes through Edmonton, he's usually a heel in CWE, where he's a face more in RCW and Top Talent. So it'll be interesting to see if he's on that show or if he's a different. What
He
What are you thinking?
he's on that show,
Excellent. So he'll probably be a heel.
and I think he's actually a good guy.
Eh? Oh, wait, no. Isn't he teaming with
I'm looking for it right now.
Juventude? Isn't he teaming with Juventude?
Yeah, it's him and Hoovy versus the Omen and Cam. But really, that's just all really to me an all face match because I don't see Hoovy being a
Yeah.
bad guy
Well, are you a
because
Mexican or a Mexicant, my guy? Prove
the
something here.
the reason I don't think he's a bad guy on this one is because he doesn't have Thad with him. Because usually we see Thad
Just because
man
Thad's not in the graphic, though, doesn't mean that Thad won't make an appearance.
That is true. That is true. I hope he doesn't make an appearance, but that's just my hopes.
I
And my
actually hope he does, but that's only because I would like to see the manager and valet culture within professional wrestling, particularly in Alberta, start to do well again.
well
So,
on this show we had two different managers slash valets with,
yeah,
and we'll talk about it in this next match. Um,
absolutely.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that right now. So this graphic isn't quite accurate because as Samantha Slides was supposed to be part of this match, she wasn't, and Dean Richter did not appear in this match. So he appeared later in the night, but he did not appear in this match. So it was this 12-man tag right here became a 16-person tag, and it
Hmm,
was Joey Vendetta, the guy on the bottom left, teaming with our one of our favorites, Jack O'Connor. Let's kick,
hmm,
baby. Along with Shawn Martins, Barricade,
hmm.
Moondog Manson, uh, Gunnar, picture here also, William Saint, making his return to professional wrestling after a few years off, and Tyrone Ironside, the man who smokes indoors.
I
Gross.
don't think he was today, though.
I didn't see him hold later second, but usually he does.
He
Taking on
does, yeah.
taking on Kat Von Hees, the Alex, our favorite, the Alex, Alex Rain, if for those who don't know him
Hmm.
as the Alex, JJ Spade, Moses Luke, Cody Mack, Kamikaze, the Goose, Kyle Shaw, and Azrael.
Glorious, glorious chaos.
So I'll admit I didn't see much of this match because there was too many people in the apron, and I couldn't really see much of the match. Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
was
So
really hoping, I was talking to Alex after the show, and I was like, I was really hoping you guys would take like a New Japan kind of stance on that. So when we get those big multi, 10 or more person matches, there's only one or two people on the apron. Everybody else kind of is on the ground respectfully
Hmm.
because and like, look at the size of these mofos. Like, seriously, you got Azrael, you got Gunnar, you got Barricade, you got Shawn Martins. He's a big, thick guy. Cody Mack, Kamikaze, Moses, even Kat in her own right, power lifter. Come on, you guys. You made a wall. You know what is not transparent? A wall.
And the other
The
side
crack
couldn't have
out of
been
the
any,
way.
and on the other side couldn't have been any better with Gunnar and Barricade over there, along with
Well, yeah,
Shawn
that's what I'm
Martins.
saying.
Like, Jesus, like at least they could maybe see over William Saint because that guy's tiny.
Also have to also mention this was the first time that we also saw the first valet of the night, which what I don't know what she's being billed as because I didn't hear Lee make the announcement. I believe when she's with Manson,
Moondog,
she's
Moondog
known
Manson,
as
yeah.
yes, okay, shush. When she's with Manson, I believe she's Dolly Manson,
I'm
but
looking
I
it up
know
right now. I
her
know.
as Bronwyn Billington.
Yes, it
So
is.
I don't really know.
Yeah, it was Brownman. Yeah,
Why I'm
I
concerned okay. This is why I get confused with people and their fracking names. If you're gonna be one thing, be that one thing. Don't rebrand to something else and still keep the original thing. This is something I got confused with Jordan Grace, when she started using her real name as her like um social media handles instead of her work name. I got really confused. She's actually gone back to using it because she recognizes the confusion that she causes. But like if Dolly Manson is what we're doing, awesome. Could we change our handles to that though?
yeah,
Because I feel
that
like,
can.
but then I also feel like Billington is something that she can bank on, and she has been because like she's very popular, she's got a great following, she's traveling all over. I feel like Billington would be the name to book on. But anyway, this was the first time we saw her in the night, and she did a really good job in kind of keeping her team together, interfering where she needed. She did a good job as a valet. I was impressed.
Yeah, so this match was just total chaos. Like
Yeah.
crazy stuff. We got the battle of the big men of Barricade versus Moses Luke slammed into each other over and over again. And then we got the battle of the giants in this match. Gunnar going up against Azrael, and that was just fun to witness, at least what I could witness. Um, these
Well,
two
they were
just
on the outside mostly, and it was hard to miss the two giants kind of beating the shit out of each other around the ring.
well, it started in the ring and then they fought their way out, and then I think they ended up fighting to the back. They ended up fighting to
They
the
did, yeah.
yeah, just a lot of chaos in here. Alex flying around the ring, doing all the flippy and the dippy and the cool ass
You see his
stuff.
German? I saw his German.
That
That
rebound
was
German that
great.
he does. Oh, when he runs the guy into
Yeah.
the rope and as they come back at him, he grabs him and Germans him.
Yeet.
So good.
So good.
So, so
So
yeah,
good.
end of this match, everyone's in hitting a finish, their big move on each other. William State gets the Chase Owens jewel heist, which is the wrap
Yeah.
around and that spin into the lariat.
Yeah.
Goose, and then Saint does get sent out. Cam hits a dive onto everybody on the floor. In the end,
Yeah.
though, Kat Von Hees hits the pile driver to Joey Vendetta, and she gets the win for her team. She hit that snuff pile driver, a la the Viking Lord. And,
Vince, yeah.
yeah, and we
Lots of
get
husses, lots of greatness. Yeah.
lots of
These
us
guys
in there.
were yeah. This was, I think, the Vinciest match on the show. Vince, I felt, loved this kind of chaos.
Oh
So
yeah,
I felt that this was the best thing for him to kind of remember him by. Yeah, I had a great time with this. I mean, I'm not gonna complain about the view though, because we definitely had the better team to be sitting there looking at booties. But at the same time, it would have been nice to see a little bit more of the match. Alex did kind of hop off the apron for a little bit, but then was actually told by Azrael to actually get back on the apron. I gotta say, a bad decision for everybody to be up on the apron. Because like you guys, you're at two corners of the ring. You got 16 people. So that's like eight people, or like it's technically seven people on the apron. That's too much, especially with the size of the people are, like, it took away a lot from the visuals. If you were sitting on the high kind of traffic areas of the room, you kinda had to move about, and it's, like, kind of annoying.
Maybe if it
So,
was
like
midget wrestlers, it would have been fine, but no.
yeah, I was gonna say I like these kinds of matches. You know, I love the kind of glorious chaos that RCW does because lately they've been getting very educated, very talented wrestlers who don't just stand there waiting for a dive. They have competent wrestlers who meander and wander about until they need to be doing their thing, and then they're doing their thing. It's very organic. Um, would have been nice to just see a little bit more of the organicness. So maybe the next time we're doing something like this, that would be my suggestion. Is only have one or two people who you know are next going into the match and have everybody else kind of on the floor, playing with the crowd a little bit, encouraging people on the inside. Yeah, because I want to see more of these matches. You know, I love these scramble-esque matches, these multi-person matches, because it gives everybody an opportunity to show off, which we
Mm,
got in this one. Everybody had a one-on-one moment with somebody in this match to be able to show off their stuff. So, yeah, that's what I would like to see going forward, because I wanna see more of these. I just wanna see them done a little bit better.
yeah. I agree with that fully. So
Mm.
we move on to a North American Championship match. It is Mitch Clark defending against X-Ray Kyle Cruz, or as the at
Oh,
least his
shit.
friends started to chant, "Greasy red bitch,"
Yeah, well,
and
Jesus
the
Christ.
the other one, the greasy skid mark.
That was my fault, I'm sorry. That one
Uh,
was my fault, 'cause I you gave me a drink at that point, so combined with everything else that I'd done at that point, I was like, "He looks like a skid mark, greasy red skid mark." Then it got picked up. I'm
no,
sorry.
no more
That
booze for
was not the
Mel.
intention.
No more booze for Mel.
Yeah, clearly not a good thing for me.
Yeah. Again, I thought these two had a good, solid match together, working around. I think as much as we were shitting on Kyle, yeah, I thought he did well in the match. I thought a good match, good work match between the two. I really didn't take a lot of notes from the show because I was just enjoying myself. There was a
Mm.
crazy Northern Lights, like release Northern Lights suplex by Mitch, just yeeting Kyle across the ring. It was grand.
Ah, it was phenomenal, phenomenal. We had so much
Mhm.
fun with this match. I
Oh
felt
yeah.
that this was a really, really great kind of just traditional wrestling match. Um, if I remember correctly, I believe we did get a promo out of Kyle before going into this. I don't think we got one out of Mitch. Mitch doesn't need to really say a lot though. He knows
Well,
what he's cheering on.
yeah,
But
Kyle was just like talking shit to Mitch, kind of like a little thing there.
I
Yeah,
mean, but it gets attention for the show. It doesn't matter if it's cringe or not. It gets attention for the show, right?
yeah,
And that's ultimately what you want when you're working these shows. You cut promos not because you're trying to put over the company, because you're trying to put over yourself. In my opinion, when you do promos for companies, you're not doing the company the favor. You kind of sort of are by making them money, but if the show overall is successful, then everyone on the card is successful, you know? If every match on the card is successful, the show is successful. If the show is successful, the company is successful. If the company's successful, the wrestlers are successful because now you got content. Now you got stuff, you know? Take every opportunity you guys can to do it, absolutely. But you know, Mitch is a champion of now two companies in Edmonton. We don't hear a lot from him unless we absolutely have to. But I do like the fact that Kyle did put something out
mm,
because it introduced him to me because I didn't know who the fuck he was. Even then, I saw the promo and he came out and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know who this is. But it still helped because I recognized the face. I knew he was someone that I'd seen before. I just didn't put the name to the promo kind of thing. So yeah, But overall, again, back to the match. I loved this match. Nathan and I had so much fun just like trying to call moves and shit throughout the match. And then when he got into the spindly bindly,
Finley Finley! The
spindly
Ludwig
bindly,
Van Driver, baby. Yeah, the end of this,
bindly.
the end of this was Kyle tries to bring a chair from the crowd into the ring, but
Mm,
Mr. Lumberjack Larry Woods, making his RCW return, runs out here and gets the chair away from Kyle, which allows Mitch to hit him and get him up for Ludwig Van Driver for the win. And then afterwards, Larry and Mitch do the hug and start jumping in the circle together. And oh
yes.
my God, three more people hit the ring. It's Ben Uman, Rich King, and T.Y. Jackson. And we get the ultimate five-way tip touch with Ben coming. Dude, I love Ben, how he always drops down to a knee and like up with it. There we go.
Yes.
He always like comes up like from underneath for the tip touch. I love that.
I mean, to be fair, he is the giant of the group. He kind of is like two Larrys on top of each other, you know?
Oh,
Fucking
that's some
Larry.
that's some shade at Mr. Larry. But yeah, and then they do the
What do
giant
you mean,
five-way
Mr.
jumping
Larry? Would
hook.
you rather me have said Rich? We're in enough trouble with Rich as it is.
Well, I'm not in trouble with Rich. I just bought a shirt. He is very happy with me. I wasn't sitting at that table when that shit happened last time. So I'm good. I'm
I didn't
golden.
do it. I was cheering for the Rats. I was
You
clapping for
you
Lara,
were
but I was
guilty
cheering
by
for the Rats.
association. You were guilty by
Fuck
association.
you! Fuck you! You're the one who introduced me to Nathan, so are you.
I wasn't at the table, so I'm not guilty by
I don't
association.
care.
I'm not.
You are
I'm
his friend. You
I
see this,
I
Nathan? He's
I
turning
am in
on you.
I am in
Boo
good
this man.
standing with Rich King.
Boo this man.
Yay! Yay, Andre!
Boo.
Yay, Andre! 2/3, 2/3, 2/3.
Yeah, you're two-thirds there. You're certainly not all the way.
Because I am
Ay,
I am
ay,
in
ay.
good I am in good standing with Mr. Rich King and his brand new T-shirt, King of the North. Pick it up at a local independent wrestling show here in Edmonton. That's
Cheap plug. Cheap
cheap
plug.
plug. Yeah, I'm in good standing with Rich, so I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna stand it with you.
And speaking of Lumberjack Larry Woods, my first match graphic edit.
That
Uh,
Kato's doing the freaking drill.
so we got a four-way match: Son of Irish versus Ginha versus Kato versus Lumberjack Larry Woods. Man, this match again, another chaos match. Everybody fighting everywhere. The chops between Ginha and Soy Boy were just crazy.
Marcy. So loud. So clappy and thuddy at the same time.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, these guys flying everywhere. Like every time we see him, I am more and more sold on Ginha. Like
Mhm.
this guy is growing on me so much. Like the first time I saw him, I'm like, okay. And the next time I'm like, yeah. Like a 3 minute series he had with Cat, absolutely phenomenal. And then he's
Mhm.
been evolving ever since and everything we see him in. Man, he's been so much
Absolutely.
fun to watch.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and like Larry and Kato work doing some great spots throughout the match. Again, I haven't been taking a lot of notes. Um, their spot where Soy Boy hits the Tope Suicida to Kato and Larry on the floor. Then Ginha follows it up with a Tope Con Hilo over the top to
Yeah.
all three men on the floor. Just crazy shit. But
So crazy.
in the end, though, Cody gets the hand again. Ginha hops up on the rope into and like springboards off the rope into a Canadian destroyer, then follows it up with a Tiger Bomb to Ginha for the win.
Yes. 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 Um, I was pleasantly surprised with this. Again, I was talking to you about this before we came on air here. The chops from Gingha and Son of Irish on the outside were so good. They were almost actually a little distracting from what was happening in the ring from Kato and Larry, which was already really, really good. It was such an interesting match because no matter which pairing you looked at, it was something really, really cool or interesting going on. The dives were just perfect. No rope catches, no nothing. It was great. Um, but it made me very happy, obviously, to see Son of Irish pick up the win on this one. I was expecting, because Larry was involved in it, I was actually expecting Larry to pick up the win on this. But I feel that Son of Irish kind of needs to be pushed a little bit. I feel that he's doing very, very well. He had been doing well, especially since turning on the Alex in January. He had that little feud with Cody Mack, um, winning the Gladiator Cup. I'm curious to see what the rest of the year and what the new year has for Son of Irish, and I'm happy to see him on now a winning end of a really, really great match.
Yeah,
I'm
and
real
then
pleased about it.
this is originally supposed to be a singles match between Zoboy and Gina.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do want to see them go one on one because I think that match would be absolutely stellar if you could see these two going one on one.
Oh, yeah. Didn't we see them once before? Go one on one?
I
I
don't
feel like
think
we have.
so.
Maybe I'm
I could be
mistaken.
wrong.
I've watched a lot of wrestling lately. My brain is just mush. Yeah, I love I love seeing Kato though. Coming out with all of his like his little cosplay outfits
The
that he
giant
does.
head, the
The
giant head.
giant tiger head. I got so nostalgic. I
Oh.
turned to Nathan. I'm like, it's Tiger Masker. Yes, I loved it.
And he is wearing a tiger mask style mask now when he's wrestling. Yeah,
Yeah, I love it. I love it. But it was black, so I was like, is he Tiger Mask or is he Black Tiger?
could
Is he
be.
emulating the late great Eddie Guerrero, or is
Yeah,
he?
yeah. It's black with gold, like gold trimming on it. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's very similar to what Eddie
black
had
tiger.
in
Yeah.
like Rocky Romero when they were Black Tiger. But then on top of that, also Tiger Mask. Remember, he's pissed about the last World Tag League, Super Junior Tag League thing, and he's been wearing black as well because remember he and Capitan Suicida were both unmasked, and they both came back in black and pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? But either way, I have a great time with this match. Again, you know that I love these glorious chaos matches, especially with people who are smart and educated enough in professional wrestling that they make the match that should be chaotic a chaotic flow. You know, there's chaos and then there's chaotic flow. And this just flowed so well together. These guys worked very, very well together.
Mm-hmm. We moved on to a Viking rules. Or did I skip? Oh, I forgot to put a graphic in here. So I'm just
Uh-oh.
going to do this thing and go boop. I forgot to put the graphic in for Weston King with Gussie Jones versus Harlan Abbott. I'm bad at my
Oh,
job.
that's
I
okay.
apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, this was another really good match. I think Weston King and Harlan Abbott, again, they've worked each other multiple times over this last couple of years. There's a spot where Harlan goes for a monkey flip, but King reverses it, flips Harlan up, and Harlan kind of comes down, flipping into a Canadian destroyer. That was like a minute into the match.
Mm.
There's a spot where
When they
West
finally made it into the match.
True. There was a spot where Weston, yeah, because they took forever to get started with
Forever. I get that it's your moniker, Harlan, but
forever.
what the flying fuck? There's
Yeah,
doing character work and really fucking around, and then there's being a fucking dick.
that is true. The spot where Weston and Gus are on the floor, and Harlan goes for a tope suicida, and Weston just bails out of the way, and he just goes
Yeah,
crashing into Gussie. So Weston
so
gets
good.
Harlan. He sends Harlan back in. Harlan up, running, starts running, goes for it again, but Weston just like, nope, Samoa Joe's it again, and Gussie just gets hit again. So,
Obliterated. Poor
and then
Gussie.
this is where Weston picks up Harlan and just Uranagi's him onto the apron. I was just like, Jesus. The end of this match comes. Harlan hits the super duper plex off the top rope, pops right up, follows it up with a snuff pile driver for the win. At the after the match, he does hit Gussie with the healing driver.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. Yeah. What do we? You want to know what I think about this? Go back to what I said about Harlan versus Christian Star. Harlan versus Son of Irish twice.
Yeah,
Harlan versus Tommy Billington. Hard.
yeah.
the- the-
It's kind of the same.
Unfortunately,
I love it, but it's the same playbook.
over and over and over again, which is very reminiscent of our friend at LPW, Michael Richard Blaze. The same thing. They
Mm,
just have the same matches over and over and over again with different people, but the same people, because there's obviously groups that these people prefer to work, and they don't go outside of that group. I don't know how you're supposed to get higher, like out of the prospect kind of status, if you're not learning how to wrestle a variety of people.
mm,
Maybe it's because those variety of people could hurt you. I don't know. That's part of what it is in this business, though. You get hurt. Look at Son of Irish. Every time he messes with the wrong person, he gets hurt. No kidding. But that's how you learn. Anyway,
again, Son of Irish just gets hurt walking around at his job too. So
rude. Anyway,
that's a
yeah, I,
shot
I kind
at
of,
Son of Irish the other day. So
you did. Yeah. Again, the physics, like the setup, the formula of it is good. It's just it is repetitive. And if I can
yeah.
be honest, this was probably the least Vinciest match on a memorial show. I kind of thought that like everything else in in the show had something to do with Vince and shouted out Vince in some way. This was the one match where it was very obvious that I felt that these two guys were just kind of in it for themselves to have a match.
Mm,
And I was like, mm, would Vince have appreciated that? I don't really know.
yeah.
But it
But
was there.
speaking,
It was fun. And I always enjoy seeing what Gussie does because, again, another manager. And like, I feel like Weston King and Gussie, that combination of those two, are everything that's right and good in wrestler manager relationships. And I feel like these two could begin, along with the other two, Bronwyn and Thaddeus, could really bring about a change in the wrestling culture in regards to how valets and managers are viewed, being that they keep doing their jobs properly like they are.
mhm, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. We had three really good examples of managers and valets tonight. But
Mhm.
sometimes you see them and they're not doing a good job. That's the thing. And I'd like to see more
Yeah, yeah.
do a good job like we saw from the three managers slash valets tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like we saw Bronwyn in the beginning in the first one. We saw her twice. We'll talk a little bit more about the second time we saw her because she was a little more useful then.
Mm,
But the first match, she was involved. She was kind of getting the crowd kind of fired up. She was speaking with the crowd. She was speaking with her people. Like, she was doing her job properly as a valet. And then in this situation, Gussie, very, very different. I consider valets and managers different. I consider the valets more of the insurance policy that the win is going to happen, whereas I consider a manager somebody who can do what it was Gussie did and what also Thaddeus does, which is get in the ring and take a bump or take the bumps on the outside. We didn't see Bronwyn do that, which respectfully I wouldn't like to see that anyway. But this is again a difference in between what the manager and valet jobs I think would be going on. And in this situation, Gussie was absolutely perfect. And again, I reiterate, Gussie, Thad, and Bronwyn have the potential to really change how the manager valet culture in professional wrestling is looked at in this province.
I think we might have to put Gussie into the valet category because he's always rolling around, showing his midsection off, trying to be sexy and all that shit. See, I don't know. I don't know.
Trying, trying,
You heard what I said.
trying.
You heard what I said.
Lisa and I disagree. We
Uh,
disagree. But the thing is, like, here's the thing though. A valet, I feel, again, is an insurance policy. A manager is not only the insurance policy, but makes up for something that the wrestler is lacking.
and
A
the manager
valet
also
can
gets
come and go.
10%.
They don't, well, sure, but yeah. But like, look at the difference in what's, going on between like, Gussie and Weston. You had Gussie out at the merch table selling merch for Gussie and Weston. You have Gussie also being verbally involved in promos, in hyping up his dude. He does his own promos. That's a that's a Gussie guarantee. He's a mouthpiece. Whereas Bronwyn, she will cut promos for Moondog, but they're not to the same uh, um what's the word? She doesn't put them out as much as Gussie does
Hmm.
or Thaddeus does. And keeping in mind also Thaddeus has had his Archer report
Hmm.
also that he can bank on. That's not something that Bronwyn has. So that's a fundamental difference kind of for me between the valet manager situation. But again, all three doing their jobs very properly for what it is that they have in their corner kind of thing.
Yeah. But speaking of a Vince match, I cannot think of a more Vincian match than the following match.
Mhm.
Oh, jeez. Press one button. Jace.
Yeah.
Viking Rules Death Match. It's Sid Green making the challenge, and who answered? Steven Styles. Holy crap. This,
Yeah.
not my jam.
Oh.
Oh, no.
But it is the Vinciest match that happened on the show.
Tex Gaines makes his return to RCW here,
Yes.
attacking Styles with a kendo stick on the floor. This is where Sid
Oh,
dives off the top onto both men, and it was just chaos. There's light tubes being hit and glass going everywhere, and I'm like, I don't feel safe. I was having flashbacks to 2019 of getting light tube in my mouth. Um, yeah, at that clandestine show, I got light. I was front row, got light tube in my mouth, and immediately went to the back of the room, with Claire instead of sitting there with the sicko that Brian, or that was Brian. Jesus.
yeah, yeah, this was a rough one for me. And I always end up watching these hardcore matches where like friend of mine is in them. So it makes it that much worse for me because like you have you get these visions of your friends and the people that you know in your head and stuff like that. And to me, Sid Green is like, he's so good and he's so nice and he's so Sid. To see him in a state of vulnerability like this, it crushed a little part of my being. And I felt the same way at Clandestine with the show you mentioned, because I was close to Sheik at that time. So seeing him in that state of vulnerability, it crushed me a little bit. So this was hard. This was
Hmm.
hard on me. And Nathan and I were just sitting there the whole time, like, I don't know if we want to stay. Can we go? Can we go? Can we just go smoke something? Because this anxiety is just so bad right now. As soon as the match ended, we had to leave.
Yeah, pure chaos, weapons everywhere. A microwave got introduced at one point. Everybody smacking each other with
Yeah.
everything you can find. The end of this match comes. uh, Tex gets up on the apron, gets starts pouring a bunch of powder into his hand, and goes to throw it at Steve, but Steve uh, knocks it back into the face of Tex Gaines. He throws Sid
Mm.
in Tex, where Tex thinks he's got Styles, which I don't think is possible because Sid is tiny. Styles is a big fatty like me, and grabs Sid, whips him over the top rope, and he's on the apron. Suddenly, like, brings him over the top to the outside through the table with a bunch of light tubes on it, and just that, I was just say sick,
The
gross sound.
noise.
Uh
Yeah.
huh. And then Sid is taken back in. I think Styles slammed him hit him with a move onto the microwave, and then pinned him for the win. And
If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was some kind of pile driver or flip up driver of some kind into the microwave, and yeah, it was done.
something I missed that. I didn't quite see what he
As
did
soon
because
as
I
the
was
bell rang, I left. I couldn't. I was like on the verge of like tears. Those aren't my kind of matches. And
mine either.
they're hard enough for me to watch regularly, but again, and knowing somebody and knowing two people in this match. It was just like, it's hard. And I know it's something that they love doing because, especially Sid, he does it so much. But it's still, it again, seeing my friends in that state of vulnerability, it's very, very hard for me. And it puts me in a very downward spiral of emotions. So I did have to remove myself for this one before moving on in the show.
Yeah, so afterwards, Styles cut a promo about Vince, and then he brought Tex in. Cut a little promo about Tex because Tex's final night. He said he's not coming back, but again, Terry Funk always said he was never coming back. So, and Tex is kind of the Terry Funk of Alberta professional wrestling.
That's a true fact. We can't lie
he
with that.
he did tell me after the show he's willing to manage like Sid or Colton, but he doesn't want to actively wrestle anymore. So
I think that would be a good idea.
again,
I think
managers.
that there's a yeah, absolutely. Especially again, I told you I'm happy to see the manager and ballet culture kind of
Mhm.
being a little bit kind of backed with these people. So again, I would like to see more. I'd like to see more.
Yeah. So after intermission, I got a couple I got my new Rich King shirt.
Yeah.
I got a new Cody
Or
Max
what?
shirt. I got an
No.
What Cody Max shirt.
Yeah.
But yeah, so post intermission, we moved on as the tag team match. It is seven, TJ Cannon and Jack Pride with their manager Thaddeus Archer III challenging the Rads for the RCW International Tag Team Championships. But as the Rads came out first, did their epic entrance as always,
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
and then Pride came out with that, and they do the point to the thing, and TJ came out, and I was booing him, telling him he's garbage because
Poor TJ.
TJ is the worst. TJ Cannon is the worst. But yeah, so we got it, and then but conspicuous is the fact that Pride is wearing jeans.
Hmm,
He's wearing a seven shirt, as that seems normal, but he's wearing
hmm.
jeans, and I was like, "The fuck is going on?" And he'll get in the ring. People are chanting, "Well, let's go, TJ!" And then I'm yelling, "TJ shit!" And nobody wanted to boo
Yeah.
me, but I don't know why.
Yeah, we got video of it. Let's go, TJ. TJ's a bitch.
Yeah, but I don't know why people weren't joining me with it. I'm right; they're wrong. Um, so
Jesus Christ.
Pride has said he's going to be out for the next 3 months. 3 months. So will he be at
Sad.
LCW in a couple weeks? We don't know. So he's going to be out for a little bit.
Mhm.
But they have found a suitable replacement. So making his way out, wearing a seven shirt, is Mr. Dean Richter.
And you guys started the time to fist chant.
We did time to fish, and then I created a new catchphrase uh, for the Rads. No fish, just tips.
Jesus Christ.
No fish, no
Ah.
fish, just tips.
I remember you inventing that, and I was like, write it down before we forget.
Yeah. This probably was one of my most favorite matches to watch because I thought everybody worked so hard in this match. Did such a good job. There was the atomic drop into an inverted atomic drop into the Bulldogs by the Rads to get to
Yes.
DJ. Great spot. Dean gets a beautiful Kreutz Wrath on TY where you get him up in the electric chair, then you kind of pop him up, and you catch him and German him. He did that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
TY, sorry, didn't to TJ. TY. Oh, this is going to be confusing. Um, Great. There was a really good tag team work by TJ and Dean working over TY throughout the match. I thought they did a really good job there.
Mhm,
Um, and all these guys have a history with Vince Austin. TJ, I know TJ came up learning from Vince Austin. Pride,
mhm,
I know there's a good bit of history with CWC, with
mhm,
Vince Stud Stable down there. And I know, again, Rich and TY, again, experience with Vince from when he was in MPW with the Stud
mhm.
Stable. So again, they a lot of, all these guys, and then Thad. has known Vince forever, where it used to be the ring
Mhm.
announcer, RCW, and everything. So yeah, there's a lot of history of friendship in this match. Same with Dean Richter. Again, he's known him
Mhm.
for forever too. MPW and everything. But yeah, this great match. There's a beautiful final beat DDT by Rich to TJ in this match. Pride tries to interfere, but this is where Larry comes out to make the save, and he ends up taking uh, fighting Pride to the back, continuing that little feud. Uh, the end of this match comes. Rich slips out of a KOD, and Dean tries to lariat him, but he misses and hits TJ. There's Rich was really cool. He kind of like does like a flip around Dean, like a head scissors into a flip around landing, and then into the Olympic slam, and
Yeah.
uh, and then Mr. T comes off the top, hitting that swanton for the win. And then the referee of this match was Mr. Judge Ben Uman. And after
Mhm.
the match, Thaddeus decided to come in the ring and get all pissy. And Ben decided to hit a snuff pile driver on Thaddeus here. It was great.
It was great. It was a
He was,
really
get,
fun match. Really
he
great
was, get,
story.
he was getting revenge for all those months ago when he sent him out of the management game.
Yes, so many. So many things.
Like a year
So
ago.
many reasons Ben has reasons to get his hands on Thaddeus. Um, Again, going back to the manager thing, Thaddeus has always been a manager who's just been solidly good at what he does. But then to have that with Pride on the outside as well, both of them getting into the crowd, yelling at the crowd, trying to get us to stop chanting, because you guys kept doing the TJ's a bitch quite a bit. Like throughout the
Yes.
match, which was phenomenal because it got him to kind of notice and got him a little fired up. And then it got Thad and Pride both fired up so that they were working with the crowd a lot more too. This was a really, really fun character work match that despite the injury of Pride, there was still a presence and like forward motion happening with what he's been doing in RCW, especially considering he just came back.
Mm.
Like just came back. This was what his third, fourth time back at RCW now because we saw him against Sid and then we saw him
Mitch.
against Mitch. I think this was his third match.
I think third.
Yeah, so I like to see that they're still keeping the presence there, and I hope that that continues. But yeah, this was a really fun match. It kept the good times going, kept the rest of the tribute show going, and you could see again all the little tributes to Vince in this. That was just so nice, but it was still their match. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like they had a tremendous match that we expect Seven and the Rads to have, but it was still there were still hints of Vince throughout the match that still kept it as a tribute as opposed to that singles
Mm.
match earlier where there was absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. So from here, we moved on to the main event. It was the Vince Austin Memorial Rumble for the Hardcore Championship, and their winner will get the RCW Stanley Cup, their name engraved onto it. I just have the graphic of this. I wasn't going to try to put all 26 members of this.
26 people, yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't happening. So I'm going to go through the entrance and some little highlights as they were coming in, and then I'll go through the
Mm,
eliminations because it's just easier that way. It
mhm.
started off with Sid Greed and the returning Cutthroat Colton Kelly. The brothers are in there. They start fighting each other. Then the third member in is their dad, Tex Gaines. He comes out and he has a big ball of booze. He takes a shot. He hands it to Sid. Sid takes a shot. He hands it to Colton, and Colton takes a shot. And Colton decides to spit it in Sid's face, and he attacks him. And he attacks
Santori
his dad.
surprise.
Santori. I don't know if it's Santori though. It looked more like JD or something like that.
It was probably like Canadian
Oh,
something.
King Club. Ugh. Ugh. That was one of my dad's favorite alcohols to drink, and uh, um, yeah. So next in is Gunnar, is the return is man who hasn't wrestled since 2020 in
Mhm.
Gunnar, making his
Yeah.
return, and even then Gunnar hasn't wrestled since like 2018, I think. Gunnar
Think
hasn't.
so, yeah. I don't know.
Sorry, no, that was his twin brother Andri was wrestling in 2020. But Gunnar hasn't been seen since
You're
2018.
definitely turning this into more than I needed.
Yeah, Gunnar comes in and starts wrecking everybody. Jack O'Connor comes out, starts kicking, but gets punched in the face by Gunnar. The Alex makes his return, hits a beautiful
Yay.
play to Jack O'Connor in here. Steven Styles is then out. Then Joey Vendetta makes his way out. Slammer in at 9 comes in slamming a bunch of people. Number 10 is the Goose. Honk Honk. Number 11, making his return to RCW, Mr. Matty Styles, baby. We were
Yeah.
comes in, starts attacking Colton, hits him with a suplex. Number 12 is Barricade. So on the outside after Barricade returned, the Alex and Jack O'Connor on the outside, and this is where Alex has a Burton and Ernie doll, and it starts distracting Jack with them, then kicks him in the head. It was great.
Yes. Oh, that was hilarious. I was like, where did those even come from?
I don't know.
We
Number
don't ask
13.
questions.
Number 13 is your defending hardcore champion, Nasty Nate Nixon. Number 14 is JD Thunder. I had no idea who this man was. I actually
He looked like a boxer.
the ring announcer had no idea what his name was, and we had to get it from one of the wrestlers who told me what the name was in the middle of the match. Number 15, well, he didn't. I asked the announcer what name was. He wasn't sure. So number
So
15
who
was.
failed on that point? Was it the company or was it Lee?
Oh, I blame Lee for not getting his name beforehand, because like that's literally the job of the announcer, is to make sure you have everybody's names. Not
Yeah,
hard.
but if the company is still planning the match as the show is happening, can we really blame Lee on that?
Yeah. Number 15, Cat Von. He's number 16, Teddy Hart. Number 17, X-Ray Kyle Cruz. Right around this point is where Slammer just starts wailing on the boxer with a cookie sheet, and then Teddy Hart joins in with a chair. It was just like,
I mean, such as it was, I'm not gonna lie, Teddy Hart had quite possibly the worst chair shots I've ever seen in my life, and we have seen some really bad shots with like Rick Jules and the cookie sheet. So like,
yeah.
I
And
don't
by the,
know what happened there, but like Slammer had no chill, and it
yeah.
was very not cool.
And by the boxer, I mean JD Thunder, because that's what I wrote him as for the first while until I learned his name. Because
Yeah.
his shorts he had were literally like boxers style shorts.
Well, even the
Um,
gloves he had on,
well, they were
they
like
covered the fingers.
like a UFC fight gloves. They were like a
Yeah.
UFC
They
fight
look
glove.
like mitts to me. They look like
Yeah.
oven mitts.
Yeah. Number 18 was Azrael. Number 19, JJ Spade. And we did get Azrael facing off with Gunnar in the Battle Royal here. Number
Mhm.
20 was Kato. Number 21, Dean Richter. Number 22, Ginha. Number 23, Lumberjack Larry Woods. Number 24, Moondog Manson with, what's her name?
Dolly Manson?
Dolly Manson. I wrote the other name. Number 25, the worst of them all, TJ Cannon. And number 26, the final entrant into this match, and the one that surprised me the most, Thaddeus Archer the third. He's going to manage TJ Cannon in the ring while wrestling.
You know what though? When I saw him come out, I was like, of course. It needed to happen. It had to happen. Like,
Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
yeah. So order of elimination: Jack O'Connor was eliminated first, then Barricade, Tex Games. The Alex was eliminated by Nate Nixon. Joey Vendetta then eliminated Teddy Hart. Then Matt Styles and Extra Kyle Cruz. Slammer was eliminated, went to the back, then came back out. Cat Von Hees was eliminated during this time, and Slammer decides to just go ape shit with the chair on JD Thunder and just wails living piss out of him. And then Colton kind of like stacks him in a pin to eliminate him, because this was a pinfall or the top rope eliminations. Number
Mhm.
12, Gunnar was eliminated. Number 13, Kato. Number 14 eliminated was Dean Richter. Number 15 eliminated JJ Spade. Ginha eliminated 16. Goose then eliminated 17. Azrael was eliminated by Nasty Nate Nixon with a trash can lid lariat over the top rope. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Uh, Sid Greed then eliminates Larry Woods. TJ was eliminated by Sid and Thad. Thad had made his entrance at this point, and he helped eliminate his own guy. which I was so confused. And you can see even TJ go, TJ, like, what the hell, man? Like, he was
I mean,
so
it might have been his man. He is his manager and his friend, but this is a battle royal. It is every dude for himself. So if it's not Thad taking out TJ, it would have been TJ taking out Thad. Thad knows that.
true. Next eliminated was Steven Styles, and finally Thaddeus Archer the third at 22. And we are down to our final four of Sid Greed, Moondog Manson, Nasty Nixon, and Colton Kelly. So everybody
Mhm.
gets a weapon, and then these two biker dudes just come out of the crowd, walk up to the ring, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And one of them pulls a chain out of nowhere and gives it to Moondog and to fight, and then everybody just starts brawling here. Nate has Sid up on the top rope, where he's on the second rope, gets Sid an air raid crash, and then it hits an air raid crash onto the top turnbuckle. Looked nasty as hell, right by the knee,
Yeah,
and then pin Sid Greed to eliminate here. I was just like,
yeah.
holy shit. The nasty knee does miss in the corner to Colton Kelly, and Colton gets a
Mhm.
bubble bomb. But Nate recovers. He does hit the air raid crash to Colton through a chair in the center of the ring and pins him. So we're down to Moondog Manson and Nasty Nate Nixon. At the end of this one, Nasty hits Moondog with they're beating the piss at each other with weapons, barbed wire, bat, everything. Moondog got his I think it was Moondog got a bat from
Oh,
uh,
yes, the pink one.
the pink bat from his valet, and they were fighting. But in the end, Nasty Nate Nixon hits Moondog with the barbed wire bat and follows it up with Buck Nasty, and he gets the win.
Yes. 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 Great way
Nice
to
one.
end.
Oh yeah. And we did get a promo from Nate after the match, talking about Vince, and some other people came in and talked about Vince and other things that didn't need to be talked about. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, because in the moments that this is happening, this was a memorial show, right? How we deal with it and how we're handling everything comes after. This is the memory of the man. So I kind of felt that some stuff needed to be said, but some stuff could have also been said on like a promo or like a backstage thing or something, which is something I'd like to see RCW start doing. You guys got the entertainment. You guys have the talent. You guys arguably have the best show in Alberta for the price and quality of wrestling that we are getting right now. And we say that watching some of the best talent in Alberta being Top Talent Wrestling, being Love Pro Wrestling. This is RCW is the shit that we recommend you guys go see. So I'd like to see in the new year RCW starting to do a little bit more with production.
Mhm.
It's not like they don't have the connections. They got that connection to Top Talent. Why can't you ask those people? If they can work for Top Talent, they can work for you. Just saying. Especially when you guys are bringing in the same goddamn names. It's like make that relationship a little bit more compatible. Especially if you're going to have random top talent people on a memorial show who don't have a connection to the person that you're memorializing. Come on now. But yeah, this show was so good. This crowd was so on fire. They were so happy to be there to remember Vince, to just experience everything that these guys had to offer. This was a great, well done show, despite the chaos that was happening.
Well, there's
The only
people standing everywhere during this show. Like, this place
Yeah,
was
they're standing room
packed.
only. Yeah, there was not a seat left. Not a seat left.
Mhm.
It was so busy, and we had to park across the street. We couldn't park in the parking lot. The lot was full. There was that many people there, which we
Mhm.
were so happy about. Um, the only thing I want to mention is whatever the fizzity-up was going on with Slammer, bruh, figure it out before you go out. If you can't figure it out, don't go out because that
Mhm.
was obvious to me that there was a problem, and it was obvious that there were gratuities taken. And when I see that, I say that that person has a lack of professionalism. I don't care what the flying fudge nuts he did. Your job when you're being paid is to go out there and be paid to do the thing that you're supposed to do. If you need to take some kind of something out on somebody, you do it after the show and after you've been paid. As far as I'm concerned, if you're in that building, you are acting under the management of the people paying you. So if I'm RCW and I know what it is that Slammer did, I'm disappointed in you and I'm considering not paying you because that's not what I pay you to do. I don't pay you to beat on people. I pay you to wrestle them. It's a very big difference. You want to beat on people? Go to UFC. Do it. I'd prefer to see you in an MMA thing because then I know you're getting your ass kicked. Yeah. Otherwise, the show, man, holy shit, was it good? And did it do what it needed to do, minus that one match, for the people and for Vince and for his family and for the wrestlers needing to um, use this as a way to kind of heal? And I think that's what ended up happening for a lot of these guys. It was a way for them to heal and move forward a little bit.
Yeah. Again, I thought amazing show here.
Yeah.
And we RCB will be back with the regular presentation come in 3 weeks.
Mhm.
November 29th, at the Norwood Legion here in Edmonton. I think that's the match. Moondog versus Nate, I guess. I don't know. They're the two featured on the poster. Fear and Loathing in RCW. Is what's
You know
coming up.
what, though? We have seen Moondog in two different situations. We've seen Moondog with a whole group of guys and no Dolly, and we've seen Moondog with Dolly. Now, if I can be perfectly frank and honest, he did better with Dolly. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just having the pretty girl in your corner and making you want to show off a little bit more. I don't know. But the show that we saw with Moondog and Onaway versus the show that we saw at the memorial show, it was like I was watching two completely different people.
No. That
Um,
wasn't on the way. That was the Hungarian show.
oh, Hungarian show, my bad, my bad. Yeah,
The
sorry.
halls were the same size.
The holes were the same size, and I was sweating my titties off in both. Um, yeah. So yeah, okay, the Hungarian show. It was a very distinct difference in character work and thus a very distinct difference in his wrestling styling and ability. I like him better with Dolly. Please bring Dolly. Also, I just again going back to what I've been saying this whole show, I like the fact that we had three different styles of managers slash valet on one show. It gave people something else to kind of focus on, but it also gave another level of showmanship and interaction. So I hope to see her back again. And we don't really see her up here. I think I've only seen her up here for like a top talent show before then. I'd love to see her up here again because I think she did a really, really good job.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. So yeah,
Mhm,
love to see her back. But
mhm,
with that said, we are coming to another end of the episode of Chop Talk. We want to thank y'all so very much for joining us here. We really do
mhm.
appreciate you joining us here. I should bring up the information that I need to bring up. Um, yeah. You can find me on the X at that Canada guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at that Canada. You can find me on Facebook at Andre and Melbo Wrestling Talk, and our YouTube page, youtube.com/ at Andre and Melbo Wrestling Talk. You can also find all of our Japanese wrestling coverage over at A Plus Productions. Check us out over there, aplusproductions.com. The next episode for Japanese stuff will be the what's the show you just watched and I'm watching this afternoon. Um,
Fighting Spirit
Fighting
Unleashed
Spirit. Yeah,
in
we'll be covering.
1924.
Yeah, Fighting Spirit Unleashed should be out within the next couple of days, and lots of great more content coming. We apologize for the lack of coverage due to the Stardom Tag League. It's just, yeah,
We have a
there's
lot to
so much
watch.
going on. There's so much going on, and we have regular lives also to live. We will be coming up. We will have a end of the tournament feature. We'll talk about the tournament as a whole. So we will
Mhm.
be talking about it. Just it's tough. You can also find me over at our local establishment. I was just on the Sunday show. If you're watching this yesterday, I was on the Sunday. As we recorded this, I was on the Sunday show a couple hours ago, making my picks for football this afternoon with my boys. We talked a bit of politics, which was weird. Um, yeah, go watch it. It was Mark
Mhm.
all over American politics. Let's just say that. Um,
That makes no sense. He's British. Why?
He was shitting over it due to confusion. Like he was confused by the way their politics work. But yeah, go check that out, and then you can find me this coming Wednesday for Marvel Talk on the we're doing the MCU rebound as we talk 2016. Yeah, 2016's Captain America Civil War. Come check us out. Me and Ed chatting all that mess. You can also find our simulcast over youtube.com/@backbreaker video. Mike simulcast all of our stuff and all of Ash Bizarro stuff. Also check him out for his gaming content, twitch.tv/Mike Dureth, and where you can also see him do his AEW watch alongs. And if you want replays of his gaming content, go to youtube.com/@backbreaker_gaming. We have content from him, Mr. PhD, Mr. Rick Jules, and therefore a recurrent guest, Kayla J.
Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. We love Kayla J here.
Melba, where can I find you?
If you're wanting to follow a Melba, you can follow her on the Axe thing at Collins Melba. You can follow her on everything else: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I just lost my space. Facebook, Facebook, TikTok, Mastodon, Blue Sky, and what's the last one?
Instagram. You can
You
find her on
me
the
on everything on Melba Collins. Threw me right off. I don't know what. Hold on. Focus, 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 focus. We still haven't got it, but you can follow me on everything else at Melba Collins. You can also find me on our local establishment's programming Japanese wrestling update on Friday, every Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time with this guy, unless we're not. And then we'll let you know on social media. This week is going to be, yeah, but yeah, you just shush. This is my bit, sir. We will be live this Friday at 8 p.m. because we have you shush your face, smack you. Anyway, we will be live Friday at 8 p.m. this week because we have no wrestling until next week, where we will be at the CWE show watching Juventud Guerrera, as we mentioned earlier, which is awesome, but also unfortunate because it's running the same night as another show, and we're passing up an opportunity to meet Kushida, to have some fun and excitement with Juventud Guerrera. So go to the Norwood Legion, come see us, come have some fun. But we will be live this Friday for Japanese Wrestling Update. You can also catch me on a show, not yet, on the 18th of November. Myself, Auntie Collins, and Astra Pizarro will be debuting our new show, Women's Classic Wrestling, where we three will be watching and talking about old women's professional matches and talking about them. So stay tuned to our socials to see what time that is coming out. But as far as we know right now, we are planning for the 18th in the afternoon. You can also catch me on Astra Pizarro's YouTube channel, where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase, with Astra Pizarro's new amazing work promotion. We have been a little slow about getting episodes out, but we are putting one together for you guys to have one very, very soon. So make sure you stay tuned to our socials to find out when that is coming out. Oh man, Andre. If you're wanting to watch RCW Wrestling, we will leave a link in the description box down below. You can go to their Facebook page, which will take you to their Eventbrite, or you can get in the know with some of your favorite professional local wrestlers and get tickets through them to save yourself a couple dollars on those extra fees from online. So check out when that is going to be happening. I believe it is the 29th. 29th? Mm-hmm. I can't remember what it was called, but as you saw, Moondog Manson, Nasty Nate Nixon. That's going to be good. We love Nasty Nate Nixon. That Ishimori, nasty German. So good. So good. Andre, is there anything else you have to say to the beautiful people?
I just want to say thank you all for joining us here on Chop Talk. We do appreciate all the great support you guys give us. Again, if you're watching, whether it's Backbreaker Video or Andre Motion Talk, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Don't forget to share us out, tell your friends, family, and those deathmatch specialists. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Gun Kasai. Hey, Vince would love him.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that being said, I am your Mabel. Over there is
I had to do it at least once.
I know, and then like we can't even say it was $10 for a ticket because it's more like 20. two Sean Spearses.
There you go.
Sean Spear Eye. It's the Alex.
Who is there tonight?
That being said, I am your Melba. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time.